Hello, welcome back to Kingdom Connections. Kingdom Connections is connecting with kingdom generals, men and women of God who are making maximum impact in our communities, in our cities, and the world at large. I've got a very dynamic woman of God that we'll be talking to today. Welcome to the program, Sister Jennifer.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you to be talking today. I know the viewers would like to know a bit about Sister Jennifer. Could you tell us who is Jennifer?
Okay, well, there's many aspects to who I am. I came from Barbados at a young age, and my background is in social work and community work. So for the most part of my working life, I worked for local government. I went quite soon into management, so I managed a number of services. But I'd always knew in my heart that I would work for myself, so I'd set a plan that by the time I got to 40, I would start my own business. Well, I achieved that a year earlier, and so at 39 I started my company. It worked with managers, helping them to restructure, reorganize. So my background was largely in the social work, social welfare arena, but I always had a passion for different things, and I think I'm very creative. So alongside that, I always found myself creating workshops and just developing people generally. And I got known for my creative ideas. So when the government had money and didn't know what to do with it, they often call on me to develop services for them. So that led me really, or my business, which started really around just providing training and consultancy, into developing more substantial projects. And one of those things was a children's home. So I did that for a while, just setting up projects for local government. And I thought, well, hang on, I could actually do this for myself. So back in 2000, I bought a property and I developed a children's care home. So, you know, for the last 16 years, we've been working with young people coming through the care system. And so that has been my main business, if you like, alongside the training and the coaching and the consultancy. 6 years ago, just pedaling back a little bit, being in the kingdom, or certainly being in the church, one of the things that happened to me was that there was a call on my life, and you know, you Christians would know what that means, and you would know that sometimes when there's a call on your life, you don't always answer the call. So if we go back 10 years, you know, I'm running my business, I'm going along, things are going well, but my heart really was for my country, Barbados, and going back into the sun. I thought I'd done my dues, I wanted to go and relax, and so I bought a property and I planned that I was going to go and live in the Caribbean. But as you know, when God has a plan for you, it doesn't always line up with your plan, and God had a plan for me. So I gathered my friends and I told them I was leaving in 2009, and that was the year that I was going to exit Britain. But it didn't happen because I got called to ministry. So that took me on a completely different journey, and a journey that I think for me was life-changing, because I learnt what it meant to be, if you like, walking with God. So although I continued with my business, I understood then that the business that I was in, the children's home, was part of my ministry. And the children that came to me were the broken souls that the Bible talked about. So it took a different perspective. So rather than mourning and groaning about wanting to finish and leave it, I had a new impetus about how I was going to impact these children's lives. Along that journey and going to the School of Ministry, what I found, or what I learned, is that not everybody is a giver. So the next journey I took was looking at the way in which I can impact the disadvantaged societies outside of the UK, and I started a charity. And I started a charity because the School of Ministry that I went to had other branches overseas, and they always needed money really to support the ministry. Right. And so one of my thoughts was, why is it always so hard to find money when you need it? And so the Spirit of the Lord said, would do something about it. Well, I thought I had enough on my plate, but nonetheless, I'm one to kind of jump to challenges. And so I began to develop a charity that was going to give money to people who wanted to go on ministries. But then I thought, if I'm continuing to encourage people to go, then I need to encourage from a position of having done it myself. Right. And so I gathered a team of friends together, and we started a committee which was going to look at how we can build missions into what the charity did. And so in 2012 we went on our first mission, and I took 12 people with me. And that was kind of life-changing, not simply because we went on a mission, but for people learned a lot about themselves in that environment. And so the charity took off. In 2013, we developed a sponsorship program because I saw that a lot of the children didn't go to school. So so for the first time I learned what it felt like to develop a charity and be able to kind of give back in a real meaningful way. So I think my journey is always really about developing people.
Right.
It always has an element where, you know, I want to take people from the A to the B, and that their journey is one of self-discovery and empowerment.
Right.
And so the things that I've done, whether it's coaching, whether it's training, whether it's the children's home, whether it's the charity, is really about that journey for people. You know, you can come from a disadvantaged past, but that doesn't define you, and that doesn't mean that that's necessarily your future. If you've got something inside of you that says, I can do better, and I can help you bring that out, that's really what I'm about.
Right.
So the things I do is with that in mind.
That's good.
Yeah.
What gave you so much push to make you be where you are now? What's the catalyst behind?
Do you know, people ask
Jennifer.
me that, and I have to say the Spirit of God. I spent my first 9 years in Barbados, and I had a praying grandmother.
Right.
I remember her telling me and treating me like I was special. I remember going to school at 4, and I remember thinking, I've gone to school early because I'm special, because I'm able to go earlier than most people.
Right.
So for those formative years, I had within me, and people ask me that, who was it that influenced you? As a child, there was something inside me that told me I was always good enough.
Wow.
And it's never left me. So at 9, I left my grandmother and I came here to two parents who provided but were quite emotionally withdrawn.
Right.
And never quite understood the journey I wanted. At 14, I'd written my little mini business plan. I decided I wanted to do a children's hotel in Barbados, and when people came on holiday, they would leave the kids with me. So I knew from a very early age that I was the kind of person that needed to steer my own ship.
Right.
And so, but along that journey, you get people who misunderstand you or just didn't agree with the journey you was on. And so to answer your question about the who, for the most of my growing up, I drew on an inner strength. And I tell people, Christ had me in his hands from I left Barbados. That was my guidance. And you know, I move in the prophetic. It's something that fascinates me, and the supernatural.
Right.
And so from a young age, I was able to hear the Spirit of God. I didn't necessarily understand who it was or what it was. I knew that if I felt not to go outside, there was a reason why I'm feeling that, and I didn't go. If I lost an earring, something would tell me a week down the road where to find it.
Right.
And so because of that, I was drawn into the supernatural, good or bad. So that kind of inner strength that I found in myself, I have a passion to develop in other people, because I think when you have that,
Right.
you can do anything you want to do.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
And so I think so, but you know, along the journey there were key people, like I was sharing earlier. At 23, I decided I didn't want to do accounts. So when I left school, I went into accounts, and I knew that the office structure and the rigidity wasn't for me. I like people, I like creativity. So I worked for the YMCA, and then I worked for in central London, and they had a club underneath. And so the hotel bit of it was where I did the accounts.
Right.
In the evening, I'd go downstairs. So I soon kind of got friendly with most of the people down there. They asked me to kind of run their youth club. So that was the beginning of my interest in working with people, because I liked it. And I found that I could engage with them, and you know, and I worked with a lot of diplomat children, so they were interested in jewelry making, and that was down my street because I like arts and craft. But what happened was, once I started to train, I realized there were people who do youth work with real disadvantaged children. My children were privileged, and so I wanted some of that. And I remember someone said, what will you be doing in 2 years? And I said, I'd stop doing accounts and I'll be training as a community worker because this is what I want to do. And that's what I did.
Powerful.
When I started that course, the tutor, he had a passion for developing people over and above the curriculum of the course. And so he used to spend time outside of the curriculum teaching, particularly the group of us that were black, just how to build your identity in the structure that you find yourself in.
Right.
That was one of my first influence because it taught me to make a difference. He said, if you're going to go somewhere and put your head down, you're just wasting time. Make a difference.
Wow.
And that's what I carried with me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. We're going to take a break, viewers, and we're going to come back and we're going to find out about the spiritual walk that Jennifer has had with the Lord. Stay tuned and we'll be back with you soon. God bless you. Hey viewers, God bless you and welcome back to the program Kingdom Connections with Kingdom Generals. I'm here with the wonderful Jennifer LaPompe, a dynamic woman who is creating waves in the city of London. She's doing charities in Haiti. I'm telling you, you need to hear more about this lady. Welcome back to the program, my beloved.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you. I want to find out about this new product that you have done, or the Lord has matured you into your spiritual walk, that you have now produced some products. You want to tell us about it, Jennifer?
Right, so these are my Command the Week card, and the story of the Command the Week cards is a story, it's a testimony. It's a testimony because I want to take you back 2012.
Yes.
2012 was when the battle began.
Right.
In regards to my business, because there was a challenge around my Christianity and I had to step up and let people know I serve a God.
Amen.
And this is who I stand on. But that has repercussions. So the following year, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but the following year, a battle started and I was ready. But the Lord said, this is mine.
Amen.
So I had to dress back. And that was the things where I said I had to learn to take a different stand because I would have gone fully into the battle.
Right.
At the end of it, and I came out well, and people had to pay the price for what they tried to do. I had the victory, but even though I had the victory, I was devastated that people could do that.
Yes.
And I wanted to kind of just down tools, and for a while I did. And as I said earlier, God said, put it back on its feet. So I was obedient, and I put it back on its feet, the care home, and the battle came again. So February last year, I'm in my front room and I'm saying, Lord, you keep putting me back into this and this is madness. And so what I was praying, which I normally pray for, is clarity.
Right.
And so I had a habit of saying, you know what, this week I'm going to walk in clarity every day because I just want my mind to be clear. I don't want to double-mindedness. I don't want, and I did that.
Yes.
One Saturday I was praying for clarity again, and I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, write that prayer down. And when you finish it, write 51 more. I did not want to get up and get a pen and paper.
Wow.
I'm not writing nothing today because I'm not getting up. I was fed up because I didn't want to go back into doing something that I was mentally ready to give up.
Right.
But I was trying to be obedient. So I took my phone and I sat on that sofa and I wrote about 70 titles that came from my spirit. And I thought, I'm going to just copy them and paste them and send them to myself and I'll deal with it on Monday. And that's really the journey of these. So that Monday I got up and I thought, well, what are you going to do? You're going to write 70 when you only need 52. Because the Lord has said write 52. Or you're going to cut them down. So I said, okay, I'm going to give myself 90 days. And in that 90 days, I'm going to cut the titles down. I'm going to start the process of writing. And that's how it started. And so I found the 52. In fact, I cut it down to 45 and I said I'll leave 5 for the journey.
Yes.
In here, there's one called Take the Battle to the Cross.
Right.
That came because one day I was in an email battle and it got to the point where I was about to send an email. I thought, I'm I'm going to take this batter to the cross. I said, that sounds like another prayer. And I wrote that down.
Wow.
And so you'll find there's something. Good Friday, I'm laying in my bed and I'm saying, it's Good Friday. Let me write something for Christ. So you'll find in there, he's alive.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that is how these prayers came about, because when I was writing the titles, I said, let me draw on the experiences that people go through. I go through them.
Right.
People go through them. So let me make it the experiences for people, because not everybody can find the words when they're going through stuff to pray. But more importantly, that I wanted people to understand the authority God gave us to command, to decree and declare, because sometimes we pray like babies.
Yes.
Oh, God help me.
Come on now.
God has given us the power
Yes.
to decree and declare and to take charge and to take command. So that's what these are. So it's about standing on the authority and commanding the atmosphere to move and to bring you what you declare to bring.
You want to open it and so the viewers can have a look?
So there is.
Would you like to open it? And
yeah. So what you have in here is a title page and just the cards. I wanted cards because I think when you have cards, you can pick one and you can walk with it.
Right.
Or you can sit in a group and everybody's journey or experience is different, so people can pick the thing that relates to them. And so they're beautifully made. They were manufactured in China.
Oh, they're beautiful.
I'm very pleased with them. You know, my friend Alan put the design together. I designed it and he had the patience to to bear with me with my very particular things I wanted it to look like and so on, and he really had the patience with me. And then on the back there's scriptures and there is some beautiful photos. And I talked earlier about my tutor who taught me when I was 23. These photos are his.
Really?
So it's fitting because he's been on my life journey for over 35 years.
Wow.
And he's not a Christian. But God has a plan because his name and his images on prayer cards.
So did he take these photos?
He took all those photos.
Wow.
All the photos you see, bar 5,
Wow.
he took them.
Wow.
And so I'm very pleased that...
This is lovely.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with them. And I'm very humbled by people's response to them. People have been buying them to give as gifts. And that was my desire, that you buy one and you give somebody else.
That's right.
And I'm just so humbled by the feedback I'm getting from people about how the cards are touching their lives. So I thank God, because I could have chosen that day, that Saturday, to not do anything because I was fed up.
Yes.
I could have decided not to write it.
That's right.
I could have just decided to just continue praying for clarity and ignore the prompting. But I thank God that I know when God is pushing me.
Would you like to share one or two of the topics from the card?
Well, the first one, number 1, is called Joyful Peace. And this one I released before the cards were ready because I was doing a presentation for my friend Diane's spa retreat. And so many people talked about the need for joy and peace. And I said, I've got a prayer that I wrote. But even after the box has now been released, people are saying I'm reading them, but I'm going back to Joyful Peace. One pastor wrote me last year and said, could you just print 50 of those? I want to give to the congregation. So there's joyful peace. There's that loving feeling, that sense that, what you feel, you attract. So if you can gain that sense of that loving feeling and walk in it, that your environment becomes that, really. Walking victorious. There's a man, I took that one, it's from Haiti. He's got one leg, but he's walking.
Wow.
He's walking victoriously because he's overcome that awful earthquake. And he's walking to victory.
That's powerful.
And so we can all, no matter what we face,
right.
we can take that victory walk. The gladful heart is something that I believe in, because I believe that I'm so blessed and I have a heart of gratitude and gladness, even sometimes when things are not going right, because you have a God who can perfect all things concerning you.
Right.
And so if you keep your heart glad, no matter what it looks like on the outside, you'll get the victory.
This is powerful. This is powerful. I love this.
Yeah.
So what's the price you sell these
They're
for?
£20.
It's very good. For
Yeah,
the quality that you have here, £20 is very good.
I wanted it to be a price that people can buy it.
Right.
You know, it's not about the money. It's about reaching the people.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and my hairdresser, I've gifted her with one. I bought them in because I'd been telling her about them. I gave her one.
Yes.
And she bought 20.
Wow.
She said, I'm going to give them to my clients.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
So I thank God for that day that he said, write them down, because
Powerful.
I just believe that it's bigger than me.
It's Command the Week 52 Spirit Inspired Prayers for Living Life Victoriously. All written under the power of the Holy Ghost by Jennifer LaPompe, a dynamic woman of God who God is using in this end time. You need to get one. You need to get a pack of these. And the quality of these cards are just amazing. If you look, they are very high quality and they have personal touch. These images were not copied from the Google or anything. They were personal photograph taken by herself and her friend, a close friend of hers. And the quality of these cards is just the touch and the feel is just amazing. A level of high excellence. And these cards, you can, as Jennifer, what you said, we can read these cards once a week, or do we?
They command a week, so really you can use them to command your 7 days.
Yes.
Your 7 days can start any day of the week,
right.
And you can go again and read the same one the next week. The idea is that you capture that week and let it bring to you what you want, however you want to walk in that atmosphere.
That's right.
And I just really want to say a big thank you to Trevor, because he's taken, I think I took maybe 3 photos, he's taken the lot.
Wow.
You know, those are his photos. Trevor Sinclair's name is. So
yes.
I thank you to him, and I thank you to Alan Seeley for his patience with putting together the card designs for me, because you know they were the dream team for me.
Powerful. In
helping me get my vision into reality.
Powerful. You know, before time is going so fast, Jennifer, just before we go, Jennifer, I wanted to look in that camera and I wanted to speak to the hearts of the people just for 2 minutes. What is the Lord laying on your heart in this end time for the people out there? Just speak to them right now.
I think my message really that I would want you to take away is that sometimes when you're battling and you're facing challenges, know that there's something on the other side for you. Know that may be part of that journey. Know that God has got you. Know that the struggle, the Bible says weeping is but for a night, but joy comes new every morning. And that says that the things that you battle, that you go through, are temporal. They're temporary. You can survive it if you believe it. You can draw on the strength of the Lord and have faith, and know that the devil is always going to play in your mind. So the big thing for me, the message I want to take you is take control of your thoughts. Meditate on the things that are good and that are perfect and that are positive. Change your language. Change the way in which you say things, because we can language our life in doubt, in fear, in negativity. So speak positive. The Bible says take captives of your thoughts. That's where it starts, because that's the only place the enemy can reach. So we cancel the enemy, we take captive of our thoughts, and we command a week in Jesus' name.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. And just before we go again, viewers, let me just run this by you again. It's Command the Week 52 Spirit Inspired Prayers for Living Life Victorious, written by the dynamic Jennifer Monita LaPompe. My God, the devil is in trouble. You got to get one. Get one for your friend, get one for your neighbor. If you can buy the whole 20, 25, we got them. She's got them all in stock. And it's such a pleasure having you on this interview, Sister Jennifer. It's such a pleasure. It was so inspiring. And viewers, see you next week at the same time. Kingdom Connections with Kingdom Generals, men and women of God making maximum impact in our communities, in our cities, and the world at large. I'm Reverend Ezekiel Thompson, and God bless you. Do you have a last word to say?
I do have a last word. The cards will be on Amazon, and I'm in negotiations with Waterstones bookshops, and they'll also be in the Christian bookshops too. So look out for them. And my new company which will distribute them is essenceofaliyah.com. So the website's coming. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
There you go, the viewers. All the information is on the screen. If you need more information, just look on the screen below and we've got it there. God bless you. We love you. Tune in next week at the same time. I'm Reverend Ezekiel Thompson. I love you.